Hello everybody, welcome to another devlog. Today I'm going to talk about a few additions I've made to the game over the past month. One of the main pillars of progression in the game is the passage of time, with plants growing gradually in your home area as you play, so I wanted to implement a day and night cycle. Now there are 4 phases in the day, which will cycle when you leave your home or sleep. There's morning, which starts dark and fades to full brightness, daytime, which stays bright, afternoon, which gradually darkens, and nighttime, which stays very dark. I didn't want to make a clock that was always running because I wanted to avoid making the player feel rushed. To allow the player to sleep, I've added this bed item. All you have to do is place it and lay down for a moment, and you can advance time to the next morning or the next afternoon. I wanted the earliest bed to be made of leaves, so I needed a plant with big leaves. I have later plans for some crafting with gourds, so I decided to use them as the big leaf plant as well. Each gourd plant generates with a random tangle of vines, and these plants also spread to cover the ground in your home area if you don't trim them. You can let them spread and eventually grow another plant to take leaves from, but if you take all the leaves, the whole thing will break. Occasionally a gourd will start growing on a vine, and after a couple stages of growth, will flower. Here I realized I needed some pollinators in the game, so I created these, the Hummingbees. Based a lot on the appearance of a clearwing moth. They're lazy little bee creatures that float around and sit on mushrooms and bushes. Depending on how many hummingbees are in your home area, your flowering gourds will have a chance to pollinate and eventually develop into a few different shapes, but I haven't implemented their purpose yet. In tinkering with the day and night cycle, I realized that it would be necessary to create some craftable light sources. Fire was the most obvious choice and was already implemented, but I wanted to avoid the player having to chop the whole forest down just to see at night, so I created these candle items, craftable with wax and twine. They burn for a few days and eventually melt, sometimes giving back the wax you used. I only thought for a second about how the player might acquire wax, obviously from the bees, so now once you've befriended some little men and take them out with you, they can grab chunks of wax from any hives you might find. The hives also act as an additional method for spawning bees. If you leave flowers on the ground, you'll have a chance to create bees. If you have a lot of bees, they might make a hive, which will always spawn a bee, or a few, every day. So if you can hoard enough flowers, you'll eventually have plenty of bees. As always, these things are all still marinating and are entirely subject to change. Let me know if you have any thoughts, questions, ideas, anything. The last thing I'd like to mention here is that I've just started a Discord server for the game, so hop in there if you're interested, or if you're a dev yourself looking to spitball some ideas. I'd really like to grow a community to get feedback and share some general creativity with. Follow me on Twitter for more frequent updates, and subscribe because there's much more to come. Thank you for watching.